Discipline is freedom. Most people think discipline is restrictive. They think it takes away fun, removes comfort, and forces you into a life of pressure and routine. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline does not trap you, it liberates you. It does not shrink your life, it expands it. Without discipline, you are controlled by your moods. You wake up and decide your actions based on how you feel. If you feel tired, you skip the workout. If you feel bored, you waste time. If you feel unmotivated, you delay your goals. Your emotions become your master. And when emotions become your master, you become their slave. Discipline flips that power dynamic. Discipline says you act regardless of how you feel. You show up when you are tired. You work when you are uninspired. You stay consistent when results are invisible. That consistency builds strength. That strength builds confidence. And that confidence builds freedom. Freedom is not doing whatever you want in the moment. Real freedom is having control over yourself. Think about it. If you cannot control your spending, you will be trapped in debt. If you cannot control your eating, you will be trapped in poor health. If you cannot control your time, you will be trapped in mediocrity. Lack of discipline creates invisible chains. But when you control your habits, you control your outcomes. Waking up early when you don't want to is freedom. Saying no to distractions is freedom. Finishing what you start is freedom. Because every disciplined action builds a future where you have more options, more stability, and more power. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you feel drained. If you rely on motivation, your progress will always be inconsistent. But discipline does not depend on emotion. It depends on commitment. Commitment says, I decided, so I act. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust with yourself. And self-trust is powerful. When you trust yourself, you stop doubting your ability. You stop questioning your potential. You know that if you decide something, you will follow through. That inner confidence is freedom. Discipline also creates structure, and structure creates clarity. When you have a routine, you remove unnecessary decisions. You don't waste energy deciding whether to train, study, or work. It's already scheduled. It's already non-negotiable. Less decision fatigue means more focus. The world is full of distractions. Social media, endless entertainment, constant notifications. If you don't have discipline, your attention will be stolen daily. Minutes turn into hours. Hours turn into days. Days turn into years. And one day you wake up wondering where the time went. Discipline protects your time. It forces you to prioritize what matters over what feels good in the moment. And when you consistently invest time into meaningful actions, the results compound. Small disciplined actions repeated daily create massive long-term change. One workout will not transform your body. One study session will not make you an expert. One productive day will not build a successful career. But thousands of disciplined days stacked together will. That's where freedom is built, in repetition. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about alignment. It aligns your daily actions with your long-term vision. It closes the gap between who you are and who you want to become. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are voting for your future self. Comfort is seductive. It whispers that you can start tomorrow, that you deserve a break. That missing one day won't matter, and sometimes rest is necessary. But comfort without control becomes complacency. Discipline teaches balance. It teaches when to push and when to pause. It teaches restraint. It teaches resilience. Resilience is freedom from breaking under pressure. Life will challenge you. There will be setbacks, failures, criticism, unexpected obstacles. Without discipline, those moments will stop you. With discipline, you continue anyway. You adapt. You adjust. You keep moving. Discipline also builds respect. When others see consistency, they see reliability. When they see reliability, they see leadership. You become someone people can count on, not just in work, but in life. And the greatest benefit of discipline is internal peace. When you know you gave your best effort today, you sleep differently. When you know you honored your commitments, your mind is quieter. There is less regret, less guilt, less anxiety. Because deep down, most stress comes from knowing you could have done more but didn't. Discipline removes that burden. It doesn't guarantee instant success. It doesn't promise an easy journey, but it guarantees growth. And growth is the ultimate form of progress. A disciplined person may move slower at times, but they move steadily. They don't burn out chasing quick results. They build foundations, strong habits, strong character, strong mindset. Character is built in the moments no one sees. When you choose to study instead of scroll. When you choose to train instead of quit. When you choose to save instead of spend. When you choose to stay focused instead of distracted. Those invisible decisions shape your visible results. Discipline is freedom because it gives you control over your direction. It gives you control over your habits. It gives you control over your reactions. And when you control those three things, you control your life. Start small. Build one disciplined habit. Wake up at the same time daily. Exercise consistently. Set clear priorities. Follow through. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Some days will be harder than others. Some days you will feel resistance. That's normal. Discipline is not the absence of struggle. It is action despite struggle. Over time, what felt hard becomes normal. What felt impossible becomes routine. And what felt forced becomes identity. You no longer try to be disciplined, you become disciplined. And that identity changes everything. Because once discipline becomes who you are, freedom follows naturally. You have financial freedom because you managed your money wisely. You have physical freedom because you cared for your health. You have mental freedom because you trained your focus. You have professional freedom because you built valuable skills. All of it traced back to daily discipline. So don't see discipline as restriction, see it as investment. Every disciplined action is a deposit into your future freedom. The choice is simple but powerful. Short-term comfort or long-term freedom. Temporary pleasure or lasting strength. Excuses or execution. Discipline is not easy, but neither is regret. Choose the path that strengthens you. Choose the actions that align with your goals. Choose consistency over emotion. Because in the end, discipline is not something that limits you. It is the very thing that sets you free.